Welcome back to a new week here with Life with the Bridges. Tomorrow is the day that we go out to Great Ormond Street Hospital to finally have Teddy's bronchoscopy done. This is hopefully to find out what is going on with Teddy's chest. Obviously in the past the CT scans have showed up a red flag area on one side of his lungs. Obviously we have tried to medicate this with antifungal medicine, which he's still on, but haven't really got anywhere. He's still exactly in the same position as he always has been. So a bronchoscopy is very much needed. So hopefully it's going to get to the bottom of what is going on, and once they can stick a camera down his throat and actually understand and take an aspiration from the area, send that to the labs and hopefully find out or shed some sort of light what is going on. Now this could come with a little bit of a problem purely because he had obviously his blood's done in preparation for this procedure on Monday, and also had an NPA, which is a nasal suction which tests for viruses, and he is still testing positive for rhinovirus and coronavirus. Now as you guys know, if you've seen our previous videos a few weeks back now, when we took Teddy up to Great Ormond Street Hospital for his MRI, they cancelled it on the spot because of the fact that the anaesthetist wasn't happy with him to go ahead with the procedure because he had coronavirus. So we have sent an email this morning knowing that we're going up tomorrow with Teddy having coronavirus, and the email has made it very abundantly clear that we are not willing to go up to Great Ormond Street Hospital if they're going to cancel the procedure once again because of the fact that he has coronavirus. So hopefully we'll hear back from that email, but fingers crossed it all goes ahead tomorrow because we need to get to the bottom of what is going on with his lungs. So yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. We're leaving tomorrow around about 9 o'clock. Not an early morning, which is nice, but it's going to lead to a tough day ahead, because when you go up at around about midday, once you've kind of factored in all clinic and all his observations and stuff like that, because he's got coronavirus, he'll be on last on the PM list, which is probably around about 3-4 hour for the procedure, 5, and then you've got Friday night traffic back home from London. So it's going to be one hell of a long day. In other news, those that don't know, my parents, so my mum and stepdad, have a property in the south of France in a place called Carcassonne, and a lot of our family members have been going out there all of the last year since they bought it, and they've been renovating it over the last year as well. And we were actually meant to be go out to their villa about 2 months after Teddy got diagnosed, which we've inevitably had to cancel. Now, us going abroad has always been an absolute no-go with Teddy, purely because he's had a line, and obviously just his road to recovery and risk of infection on planes and blah, 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 blah. So therefore, going on holiday or abroad is absolutely a no-go. But we are potentially going to be booking a flight for September, because my brother and his wife and his daughter Livy are going out there at the same time, and they are like some of our best friends, and this is obviously a huge gamble for us to potentially book flights, and it's really overwhelming, to be honest, because we're booking flights to potentially, if anything goes wrong with Teddy, for us to lose the money. But something else we've learned since Teddy's diagnosis is that we have to live for today, as tomorrow is never promised, and by booking something like this will give us something hugely to look forward to. And it's quite a few months away now. We're obviously in March, and we'll be looking at going at the end of August and start over into the start of September, and it's a really exciting prospect. It's only a 2-hour flight. My parents will be out there, as well as my brother and his wife, and how exciting is that? And on the same hand, it's exciting, but it's also really daunting knowing that we're taking Teddy away from a drive away from a local NHS hospital. Obviously, we would never be taking him away if we were ever concerned or he was in a bad place or anything like that. But with flight prices going up, we feel like this is an educated gamble to get this date in the diary and not miss out on some more memories of our family. So the words from our consultant when we got the all clear of cancer were, "Let that boy live." And that rings so true to me on a day-to-day basis, whether it be him getting muddy hands or whether it be taking him to the park or whatever. We have to let him live now, and we as the Bridge family need to live as well. So yeah, I think this morning I'm going to book some flights, which is a massive milestone. Whether we get there, on the other hand, is a different story. But what an incredible opportunity to potentially think that we may be going on holiday on a plane with a passport. Wow. London to Carcassonne. Exciting! Oh, just typing in all this information about like our names, passport details, booking these flights is literally like sending me 50-50 major off the chart excitement, but also the apprehension is unbelievable. Like, are we making a mistake? Are we doing the right thing? Is it too soon? Is Teddy going to fall ill? All these little mental battles that I'm going through just doing this is crazy, and that's the honest truth of what it's like to actually take the plunge and go on a first trip abroad and away from the comfort of a local hospital hospital. But it's in quite a few months' time. Hopefully Teddy's going to go from strength to strength. But this is where I need to pick up that spontaneous part of me and just book it and deal with it if it goes wrong. Because otherwise we never will live. We'll be caught up in this cancer journey and nothing will ever progress forward. So I'm going to book these flights. Right, this is the most spontaneous thing I've ever done. I haven't even checked with Mum. Mum said it's okay to come, but you only live life once. Live for today, as tomorrow is never promised. 2 adults, 1 child, named Teddy Bridge. Get in! 3 bits of luggage, 1 pram. Pay now. Processing payment. Booking confirmed! Ah! I've just booked a flight for the first time in 2 years, which is unheard of. Myself and Katie, as you guys know, love to travel. Can't believe it. We're going to Carcassonne on holiday in September. Yeah! Oh yeah, baby. 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 We got an adventure as a family, as the Bridge family. Get in, and we're going to take you guys with us. Ah! Okay, I've just had a shower and calmed down, and now I'm starting to panic. But that is a problem for 5 months' time. For now, we concentrate on the present day, and that is getting my stuff sorted and organised ready for Great Ormond Street Hospital tomorrow. Let's go. So although Kate has sent an email to the bone marrow transplant team regarding Teddy's procedure tomorrow, I kind of felt I needed to ring them and hear it in person. So I have just made a phone call to the BMT team and just kind of explained our situation about the fact that we've been in this situation before with Teddy with coronavirus, and that we do not want it to happen again, that we go up there and it gets cancelled. And she said that she's going to chase it up and get back to me with an outcome. So we have 2 sources of contact. We've emailed, we've phone called, and we should hopefully wait for the outcome of that, because I'd rather it got cancelled now than have to drag him up there, nil by mouth. Even going up to Gosh is a pain in the arse, the petrol, absolutely everything. So I want a definitive answer before we go that it is definitely going to go ahead. This is the kind of situation we have to stand up and scream from the rooftops and make sure things happen rather than just assume everything's going to be okay. And then you get there and voila, cancelled, and then we've wasted a load of time, money and effort. So yeah, proactivity, guys. Always advocate for your child, because it would affect Teddy. Nil by mouth, having to go under procedures, dragging him for a 2.5-hour car journey, blah, 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 blah. So let's just wait for Gosh.
I've just spoken to the nurses and it's still going ahead tomorrow, so you'll be able to come in and he'll have the procedure tomorrow.
Okay, and they're all aware of the fact that he's got coronavirus?
Yes, I put that into my email to them. All right, perfect, not a problem.
Thank you.
No worries.
Cheers. Bye now.
Bye. Have the rest of a good day.
Cheers. Bye bye. So there you have it. I have confirmation from the nurse that it is definitely going ahead tomorrow. So if it doesn't, there is going to be hell to pay. But that's good. As long as they're all aware of the Teddy situation and we're not going to walk in blind, then hopefully tomorrow we'll go ahead and start this journey to finding out what is going on with Teddy's chest. Come on, Teddy B. This is the next piece to the puzzle. Ted, where's your pants gone, mate? Where's your pants gone? They're all gone. Look at you, strong boy. Look at those big, strong legs.
You've made yourself a bit
Mummy's coming downstairs.
Daddy.
Yes, darling.
Says.
You want to go upstairs? Do you want to go and play in your bedroom?
Yeah. Okay.
You create such a mess. Teddy, watch Willow. Should we go upstairs?
Yeah.
And then we're going to put some trousers on, put your leggies away, and then we'll go out for a walk. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Just thinking back to earlier where I booked those flights to Carcassonne for us in September. My head all day has just been flashing back to the different problems that potentially could arise, and it's not something I have control over. Like a prime example, Teddy woke up from his nap at 2 o'clock and his whole tube was hanging off his face where his sticker had come off his face. And so I was watching him on his camera and I sprinted upstairs and managed to catch it just before his tube came out. And so then we did a quick change of the sticker, which all went absolutely fine. But yeah, the tube is a big problem, because if for whatever reason we were out in France and he still had his tube in and that comes out and we can't get a tube back in, we're going to have to go to a French hospital and get a tube in, which I'm sure will be absolutely fine. But again, problem. But we are hoping by September, which is 5 months away, his medication would have reduced, and hopefully as his medication reduces, therefore the want and need for an NG tube reduces as well, because the only reason why he has his tube in currently is because of his medication. We don't put any food down there. We put minimal water down there. He consumes all his fluids. So hopefully by then the tube will be gone, and that's one less problem to worry about. It'll just be keeping Teddy as good as he can be and enjoying our holiday. But in talking of enjoyment, I'm out on an absolutely beautiful evening dog walk with Willow and Teddy, and Kate has just gone to go and get her lashes done because it's her sister's birthday this weekend, and so she had her hair done yesterday, which myself and Teddy got her for our Mother's Day, and she's going to get her lashes done. So she's having a bit of a kind of pamper day, which is lovely for her. For now, I'm going to enjoy this dog walk, and we shall see you tomorrow when we go up to Great Ormond Street Hospital and hopefully have this bronchoscopy done. Teddy! Teddy! Where's Teddy? Teddy! Teddy! Where's my little cubby? Teddy! Hey, buddy!
Buddy.
Ready for gosh today?
Buddy.
Yeah, buddy. On goes the good luck bracelet Kate and Teddy got me for Christmas. Can't forget the emergency overnight suitcase. Always got to take that, because you never know what gosh is going to produce. All packed up. Time to go and get this job done. Operation Bronchoscopy has started. So we have arrived up here at Great Ormond Street Hospital, and there was confusion all the way up here because apparently the respiratory team wanted us to come in early. We had 11 o'clock on our online portal, which we needed to be here for. So we naturally left late anyway. So there were to and fro in all the way up here on the phone to the doctors and the respiratory team. But we're here early and we are now heading back to Fox Ward, which is our old ward again. And hopefully we'll be able to get him down. But I'm holding zero hope for that, purely because gosh timing is gosh timing. So we shall see. But for now, Kate and Teddy have just rushed up there, so they're on time, and I'm going to pack the pram up with all his stuff and his toys to entertain him over the next however many hours, and let's get this gosh day started. It's crazy, the familiar faces you see, like the receptionist and the cleaners here, even like the staff members that work in the cafe. It just brings back so many memories of just coming down here upset, trying to find something to eat. But anyway, to Fox Ward. By the time I'd got upstairs, I walked straight into Katie having a meeting with our consultant. With the meeting gone well, it was time to check Teddy's weight, and then his height, and then unfortunately do his swabs and his MPA. These are all routine checks for a child coming onto the ward and pre-procedure, but it upset him beyond belief.
I'll come back and do those at some point.
It's all done. It's all finished, darling. When Teddy gets upset like this, it causes a big spike in adrenaline, and he really struggles to get those levels back down to normal. We just have to comfort him, soothe him, and time is a healer. A lot of the time, we have to just let it settle on its own, as nothing seems to calm him, other than cuddles and time. Made some many videos from this bed, I tell ya. Room 5, Fox Ward. We meet again, hopefully for only a day. Clinic is all done. Our doctor came in and spoke to us all about Teddy and him going forward, and all seems pretty happy. She was certainly happy that his bone marrow engraftment went from 94% to 98%, which is incredible. We're still waiting on his chimerism results from his bloods, and we'll see what his CD4 count, and hoping that they are still good. But the fact that it shows well in the marrow usually reflects well in the blood. So keeping our fingers crossed. Just waiting to see the respiratory team now to see what the plan is going forward regarding his procedure today. Who's that?
2 thumbs up.
Finally, he's calmed down.
High five.
those swabs and MPAs just got him so worked up, and he just struggles to get his adrenaline back down, bless him. But yeah, calmness has resumed. There it is. Consent signed. It's going ahead, Teddy. It's going ahead. So we have had the doctor in, which was all good. We've had the respiratory team in to kind of tell us all the potential implications, risks, and if this happens, this is what we do sort of situation, which is always very eye-opening because, yeah, it's never nice to hear all the different risks and things that could happen in an emergency, but you sign the consent form and you know it's the right thing to do. And then we've just had the anaesthetist in as well, who's kind of gone through and checked Teddy, and all seems to be going ahead. So we are on the PM list, which hopefully he'll go down around about 1:30, 2. They did mention the fact that sometimes with this procedure, because the fact that they're putting a camera down his throat to then have a look if there's any information and infections, fungal infections, etc. And then when the camera is in his lungs, in the area of concern, they squirt some salty water into his lungs and then aspirate that salty water out, and then they can send that to the lab to be tested and see if he has any infections, viruses or fungal infections or anything like that. But yeah, so that's basically what it is. But they also said that because they put this tube down his throat, it can cause lots of different things like bleeding, sore throat, but also mean that it could mean he requires oxygen throughout the night and they may have to stay overnight, which will be a pain in the arse, but it is what it is. We'll see what goes on. But either way, it's going to be a long day and a late night here at Great Ormond Street Hospital. I am just trying to get Teddy down for a little nap because he is still nil by mouth, very tired, very upset and very hungry. So if I can make him nap, he'll sleep through a lot of it and not have to kind of listen to a screaming child for the next 2 hours. Get him. Now try and get back on the ward and keep him asleep for as long as possible. Hopefully we'll just be able to wake him up, take him down to theatre, put him back to sleep and get this bronchoscopy done. This is all from where I had all the pictures of Teddy and all our family up. We left our mark in this room. Surprised there's not claw marks down here, to be honest. Teddy's asleep. Time to chill. Teddy's had a nap and he's woken up better.
Woo! Can I get a hell yeah?
Say yeah, buddy. The days we used to stare out this window in hope for a future, Teddy. Read it? Yeah. Oh, Mummy's picking your ears out, monkey. For somebody who has an E-A-T-E-N, you are brave. He's doing really well. It is now 20 to 2, and they said anywhere between 1:30 and 2. But we all know what gosh time's like, so probably go down at 4. Are you brave? Yeah. Love you, mate. Wow, bang on time, 2 o'clock. They've called us down. Time to get him in a gown and get him down. You got your beautiful dress on. What's your head, Ted? It was time for the bit that breaks us every time, the general anaesthetic. But it's nothing but smiles and positivity until the moment he goes down, so Teddy isn't affected, as our energy reflects in Teddy's. What are you saying? Get you, you're gonna get me. You're gonna get me. We have progress. There's a dry eye in Camp Bridge. I think that's my first general anaesthetic that I didn't cry because I tactically stood behind Kate's head and I actually couldn't see him and I decided not to look, and it seems to be the way forward. But also the anaesthetic team and the respiratory team seem really organised and really kind of pulled together, so it makes a huge difference to us as parents. So yeah, we're just going to get some fresh air.
The anaesthetic consultant was really, really nice, wasn't he?
We're just going to get some fresh air. The procedure's meant to be up to about 1.5 to 2 hours, so got time for a bit of fresh air, and then we're going to head back up to the room and wait for his arrival. Touch wood, all on time, and fingers crossed the procedure goes as well. Whilst Katie did some work and I did some editing, we had a knock on the door from the respiratory doctor from Teddy's procedure. He had come to show us some more information on what they'd found in Teddy's past CT scans.
Just put a little L on it. Lungs are nice and blackish because they don't stop x-rays. Bones are white because they stop x-ray, okay? So that's his air pipe, his trachea, that goes down into lung. That little white dot there, in that black structure, is the nasogastric tube going down his esophagus and his food pipe. Okay, lungs looking happy here. As we come down his body, so we're going down towards his feet, as we're sort of slicing him on the deli counter at Waitrose. Well, we are in a way. Well, it's spiral more than slices, but anyway, things are looking the same on both sides. These are the big structures that come out of the heart either way. And then as we come down here a bit more,
Is this the original CT scan?
this is January.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, sorry, Feb. This is the newer
Yeah,
one. This is the
yeah.
newer one. You see just here, there's that slightly mucky bit,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
that little thing. Now that's the top of his, hang on, left spleen coming in. The top of his breathing muscle, the diaphragm, the spleen underneath. If we go a little bit further, you see his liver's going to appear down here on the right, okay? That's his nasogastric tube going down into his stomach. That's a big burp. I think it might be a fart. I think it's a burp.
That's so funny.
This little thing here, okay?
Yeah.
So he's not got a completely normal scan and he's got a cough.
Yeah.
A bit odd, okay? Now, that looks pretty similar to the one that he had back in January. Let me show you. So as we go down, same spot, that little bit there, yeah?
Yeah.
So when we saw that initially, we thought, okay, what is going on there? Is that something fungusy? And he's on the voriconazole, which is affordable. And we did the pH study to see, is he burping up stuff and then breathing it in and it's falling? It doesn't tend to be that edgy.
Yeah.
And you get little patches in different places rather than all in one go. But he was treated for fungus and measured for reflux, and that didn't give us back a strong signal. And he kept coughing, so we thought, well, let's see how it's developing. And between the 8th of January and the 21st of Feb, so 6 weeks, call it, it looks roughly the same, maybe a tiny bit bigger. So then the discussions, which is why there was a bit of a pause in terms of what do we do, was, do we try and put a needle in from the outside with CT guidance and get a chunk of this thing? Riskier.
Yeah.
Quite near this big pumpy red thing that we want to stay away from, because that would cause a hole in that, and then you've got all kinds of different scans. Yeah. Or do we put a telescope in? So what we did was got the telescope today. So the telescope goes in this pipe, swing around to the right, small holes, yeah? That's the entrance to the upper lobe, and the entrance to the middle lobe is there.
Yeah.
And then basically we stick the telescope at that bit where it divides. As I'm looking at it down the thing, left and right, the right one is probably it's called the medial branch, and that's going to feed some more airways down into there to that bit, yeah? So we will see what grows in the lab. They'll stick the salt water wash that we've done in the laboratory 48, 72, 96 hours, and we see if any bacteria grow. We'll also test for every virus known to man that we can pay for, and we will look and see if there's fungal stuff in there, okay? Now, he's on an antiviral, a sample of it. He's on an antifungal, voriconazole, and he's on an antibiotic, Cetrin. Yeah? He's on Ketromoxazole?
We've stopped it.
Good.
Just
When?
stopped it. Last month at his his previous
I've got that
his
list from his last
CD4
letter.
count
Yeah.
had
Okay,
just
Come
come
up
up.
enough,
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a great overall antibiotic, but it's quite good at killing PCP, which is what he's on the prevention for. So we have got a decent chance of getting some useful information here, but I expect that chance is a little bit under 50%.
Okay.
Because if we get a negative sample that doesn't particularly look like bad infection, we have to bear in mind, well, we were on treatment for some infection. We can also do tests, not just do the bugs grow, but is there DNA flying around, okay? So if, for example, we find evidence of fungus DNA in the sample, which we shouldn't do, then we'll go, this is probably fungal, and you need to either continue a longer course of oral antifungals or get some antifungal big boss stuff into the veins, okay? That's really what we've done the test for. Or are there weird bacteria here, like things related to tuberculosis, that kind of thing, that the regular antibiotics they wouldn't touch. Yeah? So atypical infection, we call that. Funguses, funny bugs, blah, blah, blah. That's about it.
Okay, so we wait.
So we've gone for the lower risk option because he's not that sick. It's not like he's in intensive care on a ventilator.
No,
This is
and
his cough.
there's no
Yeah.
fever, he's
Yeah.
fine in himself,
Yeah.
it's just this constant
to try and get you some useful answers. And if we don't, and his cough still continues, then we'll have to think again.
Okay.
That's the strategy.
Perfect.
Yeah. We'll see.
Cool.
Yeah,
That's really interesting.
Well, there it is, initial checks. Don't really know, to be honest.
Stuff out his lungs and off it goes to the lab.
Yeah, so it's the kind of sample has been taken. Off to the labs it goes, and wait to hear from it. But he was really nice, and it was good that he allowed me to film just to kind of understand what a lung looks like and what they're actually looking at, rather than just tell us over the phone about, oh, he's got a little mark that's a red flag and doesn't mean anything to us. So to be able to actually see it in person is great. But Apparently he's in recovery and on his way out.
We got unexpectedly asked to go down to theatre, which we assumed was normal, but what we were greeted with was some worried looking theatre staff as Teddy was extremely tachycardic and they couldn't get his heart rate down.
Bye-bye.
Where's Teddy? It's Mummy and Daddy, look.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
With the overwhelming amount of machines beeping and seeing his heart rate up at 220 beats per minute was extremely scary. This was then made worse when you overhear a nurse saying his heart rate shouldn't be that high.
What's in your pram? She put some clothes on you.
When we were in theatre, they gave him a strong paracetamol called Fentanyl to try and bring his heart rate down. All Teddy kept saying was bye, bye.
Bye-bye.
As parents, we knew it was the theatre and nurse staff which are making him agitated.
What's in your pram? Breathe.
Teddy constantly coughing is apparently normal for a bronchoscopy due to them having to put liquid in his airways. It's just Teddy's body's way of clearing it, but it didn't stop it being incredibly hard to watch. We're pretty used to Teddy having a cough, but not to this excess. After about 30 minutes, we'd finally managed to calm him down enough to have some cold milk. This must have felt such a relief for Teddy, as his throat must have been so sore, not only from the constant coughing, but the invasive camera down his airways. This seemed to settle him, and minute by minute, hour by hour, you could slowly feel the tension in his body start to relax and his heart rate come down beat by beat, until finally we could see signs of our cub being back to his normal self. So it is 5:15 PM and we're still here basically. And it was pretty horrendous, to be honest. His oxygen sats are currently sitting at like 92, 93 and apparently they need to be at above 95 before we can leave. And his heart rate's still 170, so that's well above where it should be. So we could be staying in overnight, or hopefully it settles with time, but he is now a lot more settled. He's had some milk, which is a blessing, and we just pray that we get out of here tonight, really do. But we knew it was going to be a long day today, yeah, and it's proving so. So we shall see what the next couple of hours brings. But get us back to Bridge HQ.
Now 5:30 and we've been told that we've got to have one more set of observations that have got to be all cleared, and she said I'll come back in an hour. We were like, no, that'll take us to 6:30 and we've still got a 2.5 hour drive, so we whittled it down to half an hour, so hopefully at 6 o'clock she's going to come in and fingers crossed do a set of obs that allow us to go home and we can get this boy home. He's absolutely fine now that he's playing with his fruit. He's normal Ted, so we're just sitting here waiting for no reason, but we settled with half an hour, so at 6 o'clock I'm going to be knocking on the door like observations now, please, we're going home, bye bye. Long old day. What are they?
Nothing.
Chocolate pancakes that she bought for Teddy, aka her.
Teddy, look. It's chocolate pancake. Tasty.
He's clearly fine. Let us go. They're holding us captive. Ted, what on earth are you doing? You're doing a crab. Pinch. And they're keeping us here. For what reason? Let this boy go home. You're doing a crab. You're such a good crab. Goodness me, an hour makes a difference. We are 6.5 minutes away from 6 o'clock. We are literally just striding around this room waiting and waiting and waiting for 6 o'clock, and these observations better be good. Then we can take the cannula out and then hopefully go home. But if they're not, then who knows? So the nurse has just come in, his temperature's 37.3. His oxygen stat's 96, but his heart rate is 156, and it needs to be around 140. So she's told us we've got to wait here until it's 140, and it's The most frustrating thing in the world. We just want to get home. The boy's fine. He's tired.
Ring the bell.
It goes from 140 to where we needed to be, and now it's 160. After looking back at Teddy's past heart rates upon discharge, she was happy that she had seen it come down enough, so it was time to take the cannula out and finally go home. We are finally leaving. What a long day that was. 6:30, and now we've got our long journey home back to Bridge HQ. But long, tiring day, and fingers crossed for no fevers or anything else, any of the other risks and problems that may occur. But for now, that's us done here. Time to go home. And that just about ends this video. But don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and remember,
live for today,
as tomorrow is never promised. And it's a new day. See you in the next one. Just as if it isn't bad enough already. Absolutely superb. Penalty notice. Great Ormond Street, you strike again. We apologise if you found any of this footage disturbing, but once again, it's the ongoing truth of what our life is like and our quest to continue to raise awareness within childhood cancer. Thank you to each and every one of you for your continued support on Teddy's road to recovery, and a huge special thank you to all of you amazing people that have become Bridge family members. This is just the start of us getting to know you a little bit better, and us all tackling this journey together as the Bridge community.